All right. So we have a little bit of important news that we want to talk about today. On November 1st, at a city council meeting in Caldwell, New Jersey, a mother, a black mother of a 9-year-old child, a 9-year-old black child, spoke about an encounter she had with her neighbor, where her neighbor, who just happened to be white Republican politician, called the cops on her 9-year-old daughter when she was outside spraying and trying to kill bugs. She was trying to kill these like lantern flies. They're like this these bugs that get in. They like kill trees and stuff. And Gordon Losh is the Republican in question, the neighbor who called the cops on the 9-year-old black child. And we actually have a clip here of the mother. She went up and spoke about it, and we're going to watch this here. It's about 3.5
Racism,
minutes.
intentional or not, it's still racism. I'm not here to label anyone, only to share my.
I'm gonna try my best not to interrupt a lot, but if you've been on this channel before, don't expect that to happen a lot. But she's 100% right.
Point of view as a black woman, a black
Also, I can try to turn this up. This is really quiet
mother,
though.
and a black resident in this town to bring awareness on racism and implicit bias that we experience on the very street that we live on. The morning of October 22nd, our neighbor called the police, identified himself as Gordon Lawshe, and reported there's a little black woman
Gordon Losh, not Losh. Excuse my pronunciation.
walking, spraying stuff on the side. There's a little black woman walking, spraying stuff on the sidewalks and trees. I don't know what the hell she's doing. It scares me though. And included that she was wearing a hoodie. My 9-year-old daughter, Bobby, had a hoodie on her person, but did not have this hoodie on her head. It was a beautiful day out that Saturday morning.
And it's number one, it's pathetic that you call the police on a 9-year-old girl that's literally not doing anything wrong. But it's even weirder when you don't give a description of why you're really calling the police, which is supposed to be an emergency number, and you just say whatever she's doing, it's scaring me. You just because that's if everybody called the police for something like that, the police would probably never come out to anybody, because that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It
is sickening.
I can't even speak to that.
To hear my neighbor use triggering words that have resulted in the death of too many Black and brown children and adults at the hand of the police. Black, hoodie, I'm scared. Those are triggered words.
And she's 100% right about that. And also, speaking on what she's saying, a study that came out pretty recently actually found that Black and Hispanic children are much more likely. Black children are 6 times more likely to die when getting shot by the police than white children are. It's a very large marginal difference there in that.
His ability to do something like this was not a mistake. It was intentional, and I'm here to talk about Mr. Lawshe's intentionality and what the disastrous outcome that could have been our reality had the Caldwell Police Department not responded to Bobby the way they did. I do commend the responding officer in this incident. My neighbor's words put my daughter in harm's way. His words and actions were unconscionable, and the impact of the aftermath of this incident will not be kept secret. My 9-year-old daughter was afraid to go outside of her front door the next day. She was afraid that her neighbor that she knows has a reason unknown to her to call the police on her.
And again, 100% right about that. You can't explain to a 9-year-old child what racism is. You can explain it to them. They are not going to understand it. And when they experience it, they don't understand it. They're not going to understand it. And this is heartbreaking.
It is unfortunate that she understands exactly what could have happened to her if we lived somewhere else in this country. As a mother, I was
And
in.
the fact that parents have to explain this stuff to their children at such a young age, 9 years old, there's a problem there. You can't say there's not.
Immediately driven and intentional to change the narrative for the sake of my daughters. I urge you to find yesterday's progress article on the work that Bobby is doing to help save trees from the spotted lanternfly. This was the reason he felt the need to call the cops on her. Based on everything that has transpired, I am concerned and outraged. I want this to be a teachable moment for our town on racial bias, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how we together can ensure that go forward, little Black and Brown children in this town can feel safe in this community. This is a very personal matter for my family. This is not political. I'm not here for a party. I'm here for my 9-year-old, my 13-year-old, and myself.
And I personally don't think that uh, you know, it's there for any political reason. You can clearly tell she's not. But I felt like the fact that she needed to say that is also a big problem. The fact that you know, especially um, when we're talking about police having a racial bias against black people, it does become a type of political issue in a way, and then people on both sides will be like, "Oh, it's being politicized and stuff." When in reality, it's it's a policing issue. It's a overarching issue in the entire country around how just the police force in general across the entire board, the entire country.
Understanding my neighbor's direct role within the political landscape of this town as the co-head and treasurer of the Republican Party, I am asking his party, tell me, do you condone this behavior? I would like to know your point of view. And I want to close by repeating my opening statement. Racism, intentional or not, is racism. That's the dialogue that I would like to have.
And that's the end of her little speech. She only gets a certain amount of time because it's a city council meeting, and it was I think that what she said was incredible. She definitely got everything in there in her short amount of time, and that question she asked at the end about if Republicans, do they condone this stuff? Are they okay with this? I mean, the fact that she has to ask that kind of answers the question. Yeah, yes. And I think she said he was the head and treasurer of the Republican Party there in Caldwell, New Jersey. And that's it's like I said, this is just a heartbreaking story all around. Luckily, there it hasn't been any further incident. The little girl is completely okay. The mom is okay. So that is the one positive here, I guess, if you want to look at the positives there. But overall, it's like I said, we will continue to hear things like this, and we will continue to hear more horrendous happenings like this from the hands of police officers, unless we have police reform now. It should have happened a long time ago. The fact that I've said the fact that a lot in this video. I apologize for that. But we have to keep saying these things. We have to keep saying, we need police reform. We need police reform. Something has to happen, because saying it is only one half of it. We need to do it. We have to push for it harder than we have been. It needs to happen.